Hello. Welcome. I figure what I'll do is main story quest for Final Fantasy XIV in the morning or when I wake up. And I'll do raids at night on my second stream. So yeah, let's get into it and let's go. Oh, greetings, yo. You come to look in on our friends. Rest assured, everyone is quite well. I've been keeping a close eye on them and have satisfied myself that they are all in fine health. As a matter of fact, they're just about to convene in Dawn's respite to discuss how best to use their pent-up energy. Let's join them, shall we?
Well, my friends, now that we have all settled back into our bodies, it is time we resumed our duties in earnest. Let us speak of our plans.
Ever since the Emperor's death, it's been one unsettling rumor after another. I have a mind to pay a visit to Garlemald to ascertain the truth of the matter.
A prudent endeavor. 'Tis of the essence that we establish the full extent of the threat, not least if it should prove that Xenos doth indeed orchestrate events from the shadows. In light of which possibility, I shall accompany thee on thy mission. Be assured that thou shalt find me more a help than a hindrance. Thou requirest another to imbue thine ammunition, dost thou not?
Assuming that's settled, there's something I've been meaning to look into as well. Welcome back, everyone!
Please.
Lise!
You're fine now, right? No more headaches or keeling over? That's right. We're fighting fit and raring to go.
The famous Lise Hext, former scion and hero of the Alamegan resistance.
I don't believe we've met. Really? It's so easy to assume that all Archons are acquainted. But then I suppose your fields of expertise are rather different.
Grahatir, at your service. I have read much and more about your exploits, Commander. It is a pleasure to finally make your acquaintance.
Likewise. The others told me all about you.
Do not be so sure. Words scarcely do justice to the vital role he played in our victory in the first. A more dependable comrade one would be hard-pressed to find.
Oh, right. I did glance at the report. But I'd be lying if I said I understood half of it. Well, that's a lot to take in. Just to be clear, this means we're not heading for another calamity, does it?
Shorn of their unsundered master's leadership, what Ascians remain shall struggle to see their plans to fruition. And though I would ever advise caution, I believe we may rest easy for a time.
I'll take that as a yes. Even so, I don't know what to make of this business about Hydaelyn and Zodiac being primals.
A difficult truth to bear, yes. But at last we understand the nature of our adversary. And if there are no further calamities, neither will there be rejoinings, meaning Zodiac will never regain his full strength. Even so, as the oldest and mightiest of primals, he remains a force to be feared. Though his is a power born of the desire for salvation, we have seen the havoc it may wreak, and it falls to us to ensure that it is never again brought to bear upon this star.
But tell us, Lys, to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit?
What do you mean? Isn't seeing my long-lost comrades reason enough? Alright, there was one other matter. I have a message from the Alliance, and before you ask, yes, it's about the Empire. So, after Emperor Varys' assassination, it seems his cousin Nerva made a bid for the throne. The trouble is, he wasn't the only one with designs on it, and it didn't take long for a civil war to break out. And it's not just in the provinces. Early reports say huge swathes of the Imperial capital have been reduced to rubble. The Alliance will soon convene in Alamigo to decide on a course of action, and we were hoping you'd come along.
Well, as it happens, Urianger and I were just this moment planning a little trip to Garlemald. And we should be grateful for any advice the Alliance can provide on how best to make the most of our visit.
To Alamigo, then.
Why don't you go on without me? There's something I need to look into.
Ah, forgive me. You were just telling us. What is it, if I may ask?
I want to find a way to cure the Tempered.
Of course. You think it may be possible to adapt the treatment you use to help those corrupted by the Sin Eaters?
I'm sorry, a cure for tempering? But that would change everything. Alize, consider yourself uninvited. Go and find us this cure.
I'll do my best. I was hoping you might join me. Don't worry if not, though. I won't hold it against you if you'd rather attend a stuffy meeting.
Oh, thank God.
I knew you'd say yes.
I'll come too. If you don't mind, that is.
Mind? I'm sure they would be glad of your company. Pray, enjoy your time together with your hero.
No. That's not... I mean, I simply thought my knowledge might be of some use.
We shall be on our way then. Godspeed.
Don't worry, I can say with complete confidence that Graha is dressed for anything. But when your stroll is about, one cannot afford even the slightest slip. When I set out to save Harlick, I think Gabu was always at the back of my mind, and having proved that the light corrupted are not lost, I am convinced that the same must be true of the tempered. Similar to those corrupted by the Sin Eaters, the ether of Gabu's soul has been rendered stagnant, and though the root cause is different, perhaps the solution is the same. It is by no means an unreasonable hypothesis, Alize, and it warrants full investigation. If there's even a chance we can save Gabu, we have to try, but however much I'd like to race over to Limsa and set to work, there's no room for recklessness. Not when a child's life is at stake. As I'm sure Luck would remind us, we still know little and less about the soul. Any number of things could go wrong if we don't exercise due caution. And so, before attempting anything, we should learn all we possibly can about tempering. There's just one problem. Research into the condition has long since ground to a halt, and the combined work of the many scholars involved doesn't exactly amount to a wealth of knowledge. Not of the modern scholars, perhaps, but what of the ancient counterparts? I know the Elegants took a more than passing interest in the subject. And what if we seek it? And if what we seek is to be found anywhere, it would surely be at the Aetherometrical Research Facility, where they experimented on primals and their worshippers. Yes, good thinking. I've never actually been there myself, but I did read reports on Aslia, which means we'll be needing an airship. An airship, you say? Meet me at the northern bank on Silver Lake. I've got a little surprise for you. Oh, and come prepared to travel. I give you the Bonanza, the Scion's very own airship. I built her as a company project with help from our friends at the Rising Stones and named her for luck and prosperity. Tattoo, this is amazing. We'll be able to fly just about anywhere we want. Our garments were impressive enough, but to build an entire airship, I see the annals did not exaggerate the many talents of the Scion's fabled coinkeeper. Hey, I'd also introduce myself as your pilot. Pilot. Except the training didn't go quite as well as I'd hoped. But that's alright, because we've hired this capable fellow here instead. I love Tatsu. She's great. The Bonanza is equipped with the full complement of manufacturers. By the way, feel free to use them to get around Aslia. But enough talk, it's time to fly. All aboard. Did I ever mention that I was fond of flying? Because I am. Be it on an airship, an emerald, or a chocobo, there is nothing so exhilarating as feeling the wind on your face as the horizon unfolds before you. It's kinda cool to get to learn more about Grahatia. Honestly, Sid would be jealous of the way that airship flies. Tatu has outdone herself. Anyway, here we are on Aslia, and Alphinaud's report did not do the scale of this place justice. So this is where you had your reckoning with Thornton. I wish I'd been with you. This appears to be the helix, which means we stand in the Alpha Quadrant. To the east lies the Beta Quadrant, and... yes, I believe I have my bearings, so this is my first time on Aslia. I do have some familiarity with the place thanks to the records of the Crystal Tower. Unless I am mistaken, this path leads to an aetheryte, beyond which there will be an informed terminal. I suggest we begin our search there. Time for our authority on our Allegan artifacts to show what he can do. And here is the terminal. A moment while I search the archives for references to tempering. Ah, there we are. Iconic corruption and overview. That sounds promising. Indeed, let us see what this report has to say. Confound it. The contents appear to have been deleted. What? No, isn't there something you can do? Not from here, I'm afraid, but it may be that another copy of the report exists elsewhere. The question is where to look. It says here the report was written by someone named Owen. Is it likely that he kept a copy? I would say it is a distinct possibility, assuming he was a researcher here. He will have had quarters on the Habisphere. We can ascertain the details that Habisphere control. Let us return to the Bonanza and avail ourselves of the mana cutters. We will need them to reach our destination. I forgot, you already have a suitable means of transport, don't you? No need to waste time accompanying us back to the ship, then. We'll see you at the Hemisphere. Well, oh. I see they flew here. Well, so did I. Biz, welcome to Hemisphere Control. How may I assist you? The mana cutters appear to be ironworks made, but I dare say Tatu will craft her own soon enough. If the late Owen did indeed have a chamber here, this node will be able to tell us its number. There, from what I recall of the layout, it should be somewhere in the vicinity of... Warning, an evacuation order is presently in effect. Entry to the Hemisphere is not permitted at this time. Foiled again. In all likelihood, the order would have been imposed during the fourth umbral calamity, and I doubt it will be lifted in the near future. Energy level critical, returning base for recharging. Well, surely there must be some other way to gain access. Force, for example. Ere we resort to that, I have an idea. Were we to send a surge of energy through yonder control mechanism, it should prompt the system to restart, releasing the locks. As for a suitable energy source, a concealed lightning shard might suffice. Happily, I seem to recall that they are known to form at points of stagnant ether throughout the continent. You seem to recall? Are you honestly telling me that was in the records too? I am. A report sent to the capital mentioned that lightning aspect that ether was prone to pulling on the continent, resulting in surges that interfered with equipment. A minor detail, I grant you, but in my role as caretaker of the Crystal Tower, there was no such thing as too much elegant knowledge. Besides, my studies helped me to feel connected to the source, to home. I must have explored this facility 1,000 times in my mind, but to finally stand here with the two of you, 'tis more exhilarating than I can well express. Now then, the lightning shard, if I may. I suggest we split up and search the beta quadrant. Oh, but beware of sprites. They are wont to manifest where the ether is stagnant. Now you're just showing off, which makes me think we should make a contest of this. The first to return here with the shard wins. What do you say? Very well. It would be my honor to come third. It would be my honor to come third. Okay, gratia. He doesn't want to put himself above. Bravo, that was quite a show, adventurer. Why the spectacle proved so enthralling that all thoughts of the prize slipped my mind. I appear to have forfeited our little race. Congratulations. The lightning shard is yours. Ah, you remember that. In my defense, I was caught up in the moment. It isn't every day you meet an honest-to-God's hero, after all. Well, the contest continues, so you had better hurry back. But one last thing. Thank you, Yo, for bringing me here. Oh my god. That's fine. You have a shard? Then you win. I searched high and low, but I couldn't find so much as a trace of stagnant ether. It appears Alize had no luck, so victory is yours. Congratulations. Now then, may I have the shard? What is it that makes you so much better at finding things? What do you have that I don't? That is a question I too have asked myself on numerous occasions. I suspect we could both learn a great deal from you, and not only about the secrets of adventuring, but we should find, we should attend to our mission. Excellent. The system responded exactly as intended. We now have access to the Hemisphere. Only one obstacle remains, the security systems within. Should they be triggered, they could make life rather difficult for us. In light of which, pray leave the rest to me. If I am right, my royal blood should allow me to venture in unmolested. Assuming this place works like the Crystal Tower, yes, but if it doesn't, you'll be on your own. I want you to promise us that you'll get out at the first sign of trouble. I promise. Wish me luck. Well, nothing for it but to sit tight. I'm sure this Owen fellow was very learned, but iconic corruption and an overview sounds like a studium thesis. We all had to write one. Lest you wonder, mine was about the combat applications of ether. I'm nothing if not practical. Alphinode's was more philosophical, of course. Political, dare I say it. He chose to write a lengthy discourse on our nation's duty to the world. A controversial subject, to say the least. He asserted the Charlian knowledge should rightfully be used to protect all life on the star, in direct opposition to the country's cherished policy of non-intervention. Being a leading member of the forum, our father was not happy. At the time, of course, Alphanode was utterly convinced of his views and would cheerfully argue to the death with anyone who saw things differently. By which I mean the rows were long, to be fair to him. Though, he's since learned to be a little more open-minded. But deep down, he still holds fast to that one belief, and I admire him for it. I should have liked to meet young Alphanode for what it's worth. My thesis concerned the elegant civilization as depicted in the folklore. Oh, you're back. I didn't know you attended the Studium. I didn't. A thesis was required to earn my Archon's mark. My peers at the Students of Beltesson convinced me to write one with the promise of unfettered access to forbidden tomes. Though I considered it no more than a means to an end at the time, I will admit it was gratifying to have my efforts acknowledged. Good gods, an Archon's thesis. I shudder to imagine the work involved, but enough about that. Is this the fruit of your foray? Yes, Owen's archive node. It was waiting for me in his chamber. If a copy of his report still survives, it would be stored in this device. Shall we find out? Initializing, scanning for registered user. User not found. To proceed as guest, please complete biometric authentication. Verifying. Authentication complete. Guest identified as member of the royal family. I am at your most humble service, Your Highness. It never ceases to amuse me. 'Tis but a pity the effect will not last forever. Doga and Unai said as much when they granted me this gift, but until such time as it fades, I shall use it gracefully. Search archive for iconic corruption. Searching. One item found. Iconic corruption. An overview. The report is locked by the author. Please state password. Well, go on then, Your Highness. Tell the nice node the password. Right, let's see. Glory be to Allah. Long live Emperor Zonde. Password incorrect. Try again. Please. Confound it. Come now, passwords are invariably short and simple. For instance, password. Alice is great. The notion that password could be something so insane would be laughable were it not dangerously stupid. Furthermore, your conduct in the presence of His Highness is grossly inappropriate. Know your place, handmaiden. What did you just call me? Wild Rose. Final Fantasy 2. Password incorrect. Again, be warned that any further inappropriate behavior in the presence of His Highness will not be tolerated. Alright, that's it. I say we dismantle it and manually extract what we need. Now, let's not be too hasty. A single misstep and we risk losing the report altogether. I believe this may be a task for Sid and his colleagues. If anyone can coax Maxina into cooperating, it is them. Come, let us bear the node back to the Rising Stones. Fine, I'll let Sid try his hand first, but if that doesn't work, we're doing it my way. I should probably mention that I have yet to meet Sid since waking up. Rambros did send word to the Ironworks, but it appears our friend has been afield on urgent business. Nevertheless, I assure you my proposal to seek his help is no pretext, however much I might look forward to seeing him again. Him and everyone, but come, let us be on our way. Look at him, all but running. How sweet. Still, it wouldn't do to keep him waiting, shall we? I take it you have news to share, so do I. I'm pleased to see your mission was a success, in no small part due to the bonanza. Crow's back too. I wonder what was decided at the council. Yep. Still the same. Wonderful news, yo. Thought you contacted Sid on our behalf, and he is on our way here even as we speak. While we wait, I should like very much to hear what transpired at the Alliance Council. Would you be so kind, Kyle? As you know, the meeting was convened to discuss how best to respond to recent events in Garlemald. According to the intelligence from our Doman allies, the War of Succession rages on, and the Empire remains without a leader. Amidst the chaos, the Imperial legions in the provinces have begun to move independently of the motherland. Of greatest concern to us is the third, a legion aligned with Lord Nerva. It appears they have received substantial financial backing from the House of Brutus. Brutus, aren't they the ones who took in Yastoyu and Ashai? This bodes well. Xenos movements, meanwhile, remain shrouded in mystery. We're hoping that Thancred and Urianger will be able to shed some light on his activities when they return. Until such time as they do, the Allied leaders feel it would be unwise to interfere in the conflict, and so, thanks in part to the Imperial withdrawal from Grimwilds, they have decided to turn their attention to the primal problem once more. Working with friendly factions among the beast tribes, they hope to reopen dialogue and explore new avenues for peace. Given the timing, I suspect they will wish to put their respective houses in order ahead of a decisive clash with the Empire. Whatever their intent, this is not a problem easily solved. The Lomdinsians in particular struggle in their efforts, and Alpha Node and Ishusdol have been called upon to aid them. So long as we are dealing with the tempered, I'm afraid no amount of dialogue will avail us. But if we can develop a treatment for tempering, then anything is possible. Which is why we must succeed. And on that cheery note, why not make yourselves comfortable in Dawn's respite? I'll show Sid in as soon as he arrives. We've made the respite cozier than ever. You're gonna love it. I understand you took a little trip to Aslia. Raha made himself useful, I trust. As important as Gabu is to me, I know only too well how much more is at stake here. A cure could change the whole world. Sid, at long last. Warning, His Highness is exhibiting elevated blood pressure. Sid. Forgive us for not coming to see you sooner, my friend. As you may have heard, we've had our hands full. In our defense, you are up rather early. I was under the impression you'd be slumbering a while longer. Oh, I wouldn't have been had you not fulfilled your promise. I still struggle with that idea. From where I stand, the secrets of traversing time and space seem exactly as unfathomable as they ever did. But if an alternative version of myself has already laid them bare, I dare say that frees me up to concentrate on the other endeavors. Speaking of which, you wanted to help me with something. What was it? Well, a treatment for tempering, and for the next step you'll need to find the password to the Allegan's report. Just so, with nary a clue to guide us, we could be here forever and still not guess correctly, and thus we turn to you. Well, I'd love to say that we could help you, or so I will. Once a suitably configured a Magitech terminal should make short work of identifying the password. I knew I could rely on you. How anticipating that I might be of use, I took the liberty of borrowing a tombstone from Rembros. It contains an elegant dictionary. Good thinking. I'll transfer the information to a terminal and set it to work right away. Looks like it's finished. Let's see. Freedom. The password is freedom. Short and simple, just as I said. Would you care to do the honors, Your Highness? I would, milady. Node. Open the report entitled Iconic Corruption, an overview. Password freedom. Password accepted. Opening report. This report seeks to provide an overview of the mechanism by which icons corrupt and bind men to their will. The phenomenon we call corruption refers to the alteration of the ether of the soul. Said ether ordinarily exists in equilibrium, no one element being more prominent than the other. But when a subject is exposed to the ether of an icon, this changes, their soul taking on the properties of the entity in question. By way of an example, exposure to ether of the fiend Sephiroth would cause a subject's ether to become aligned with the element of earth. I see. As a consequence, the subject would attain a heightened affinity with earth aspects, magics, as well as pre-natural levels of endurance. Repeated exposure would further enhance these traits, ultimately altering the subject's very flesh. Oh. The change undergone by the subjects are not solely attributable to the elemental alignment, however. Further testing has determined that the subject's soul becomes umbrally charged or stagnant during the process. This stagnation of the soul, has the effect of diluting the sense of self, rendering the subject vulnerable to the will of the icon, the thoughts of whom come to consume their entire existence. In this manner do the corrupted become worshippers of the icon, their prayers serving to further empower the entity. Having discerned the mechanism of iconic corruption, my colleagues and I set out to develop a material capable of shielding one from its effects, an endeavor in which we were successful, albeit at a great cost. In the course of testing, many of my assistants, good men and women all, fell victim to corruption, and in accordance with protocol, they were summarily put to death. I subsequently submitted a proposal to investigate potential cures for corruption, but it was rejected, deemed non-essential by Lord Amon. Though I knew it would be fruitless, I protested the decision, and for my impertinence, I have been stripped of rank and title, and will shortly be expelled from this facility. In all likelihood, this report will be expunged from the archives. Nonetheless, I record it in hopes that one day someone will undertake to do that which I could not, and find a cure for the victims of iconic corruption. End recording. So not even the Elegans were able to find a cure, or rather, were not given the chance to do so. One cannot help but wonder what motivated Lord Amon's decision. More importantly, this confirms the stagnation of the soul is indeed the problem, and Angelo can remedy that. True, yet, were we simply to reanimate a tempered soul, I fear it would do naught to diminish the individual's fanatical faith. Indeed, it may well intensify it. No, we would somehow need to suppress the primal's hold over the subject at the same time, or risk them ever remaining its thrall. But of course, memory transference, the process has the effect of compartmentalizing memories, separating them into manageable bundles, if you will. By adapting the technique, it may be possible to achieve selective reanimation, that is, limit the effects to only those memories that existed prior to tempering, though thus restoring the sense of self. We could theoretically drown out the incitements of false faith which had come to dominate the individual's thoughts. I see. The theory seems sound, and our experiences treating the light corrupted would help us identify suitable memories for reanimation. But are you confident you can adapt memory transference as required? I seem to recall your attempts to do so while trying to bring us home culminated in literal bloodletting. They did. You are right. Despite my best efforts, I could not recreate the mechanism, and I concede the rather clumsy compromise I reached would not provide the basis for a cure. Then perhaps it's better that we consider another approach. Your doubts are understandable, but this time I believe we have reason to be confident. You see, nodes such as this were built with the ability to stimulate magics, which leads me to believe that it may be capable of performing simulations of the transference technique. If so, we would be able to conduct years' worth of tests within the space of a few days. In theory, it would be no different from how we identified the password. But it'll take more calculating power, a lot more. Honestly, I couldn't say whether our equipment would be up to the task. Tell me, Sid, why do you suppose Owen locked his report behind a password? To keep it from prying eyes, of course. Why else? Wait, a password that could be guessed by anyone with leisure and a dictionary wouldn't keep it from a person minded to lurk. No, he wanted his report to be seen by those who strive for freedom. Not unlike the members of a certain distinguished engineering collective. I believe their motto was freedom through technology or some such. You two, round up as many Magitech terminals as you can find and bring them to the workshop. Right away, Chief. Things are about to get very busy. Luckily, we have you to help, eh? We're getting there, yo, one step at a time. All those Magitech terminals won't come cheap. Ah, shut up, Tater. Some things you shouldn't put a price on. Suffice it to say, I shall be of whatever help I can. As with our first foray into the labyrinth of ancients, we seek to venture into the unknown, and in order to succeed, we require not only knowledge and preparation, but daring besides, just like old times. Right, well, Rarity and I configured the terminals. I want the rest of you to procure supplies. Namely, ceruleum to fuel the terminals and ice shards to keep them cool. The more we have of both, the better. Leave the ice shards to me. I'll round up some adventurers and go on a gathering spree. In that case, I'll trust you and Alize with the ceruleum. Here's a promissory note for each of you. Take them to the Sky Steel manufactory in Ishgard and the ceruleum processing plant in Thanalin. people there will give you what we need. Yours is a well-known face in the Holy See, I believe. If it's all the same to you, I'll head to Thanolin. We shall see to it the terminals are ready by the time you return. If Alizé is bound for the Cerulean processing plant, you'll want to take yourself to the Sky Steel manufactory. Off you go now. My prospector seems rather fond of you. Let's see, shall we? Odd garb, striking presence. Would I be right in assuming you are the outsider who helped save Dishguard? I thought as much. My prospect meter seldom lies. And let's just say you have made the right choice to visit our humble workshop. With that, welcome to the Sky Steel manufactory, where miracles are born from aether, metal, and imagination. From cannons to ballistas, we develop and manufacture a range of weapons designed for slaying dragon invaders. But we are also accepting students who wish to take up firearm and learn the techniques of the machinists. What say you? Are you interested in joining us in exploring the machinist discipline? No. You know? How odd. I was certain my prospect meter had detected a high level of interest. Come now, you needn't be shy. I shall be here should you surrender to what is obviously your heart's desire. Maybe one day. Once I max out Dragoon, I imagine I'll get going on another job. You stand in the Sky Steel manufactory. What is it you require? So you're after Cerulean. In that case, please present the note to our engineer at the airship landing. He shall be glad to assist you. Please present the note to the engineer. Okay. One moment. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay. Carillion, you've come to the right man. Fair warning, though. The price has shot up on account of the uncertainty with the Empire, so I hope you've got the coin. Well now, a promissory note from the Ironworks. Don't see many of these, not that it's a problem. It's as good as gold to me.
My friend! After the disappointment of not seeing you in Alamigo, what good fortune to chance upon you here of all places. As you may have heard, the Allied nations are making a renewed effort to address the primal problem. To that end, have I invited the chieftain of the Vanu to Ishgard, that we might together plot a course. Since the war with the Empire appears to be nearing its conclusion, I would also like to call upon Estinian's lance. Alas, he is, as ever, a difficult man to find. I am informed he recently paid a visit to the Rising Stones. Should he happen to do so again, be sure to pass on my regards, won't you? But tell me, what business brings you to our fair city this day? A cure for tempering. You never cease to amaze me. Until now, our only hope has been prevention, our every failure irrevocable. But this would rewrite the rules of engagement. It could end the cycle of bloodshed. Very well. You shall have all the ceruleum we can provide, and an airship with which to transport it. In this matter, you may count on Ishgard's full support.
Damn.
Who would have thought ceruleum weighed so much? Serves me right for being stubborn, I suppose. I should have just done what you did and accepted help.
Like I'm just like, yep.
Good work, you two. This is all we asked for and more. Quite a lot more now that I look at it. Lord Emmerich, eh? And entirely by chance. Ha! Some people have all the luck.
We have also succeeded in configuring the terminals, thanks in no small part to our able assistant.
It's been a while, hero. You seem surprised to see me. Lest you misunderstand, I've no interest in such things as cures for tempering. But if you mean to achieve that which eluded even the storied Allagans, it seemed plain that you would require my expertise. And so it proved. Is that not right, Garland?
For all the effort it took to track you down after your latest disappearing act, you could find the cure for death, and it wouldn't be worth the trouble.
That wasn't the only reason I agreed to cooperate. I'm reliably informed that Garland and I are destined to unravel the secrets of travel not only across dimensions, but through time. Doubtless the lion's share of the credit lies with me. 9 parts to Garland's 1. And this research will be a stepping stone to that illustrious achievement.
Very well then. I'll do 1/10 of the work. Just the part that's beyond you.
Whatever you say, Garland.
Right. If everyone's ready, let's begin. All appears to be in order. Now, we just have to wait for it to find us our magic. Why not take this opportunity to put your feet up? This may take a while. Damn it. It's overloading.
Chief! She won't last much longer!
We'll have to shut it down.
Wait! We're close! So very close!
Oh!
Well, this is going swimmingly.
Please, a moment longer. I beg you. There! I was able to memorize the magic before it faded. It still needs to be put to the proof, but I believe we have our cure.
It's just as well. She'll never run again.
The fault is mine. I'm sorry.
Don't be. It may fall short of dimension hopping, but a cure for tempering is not to be sniffed at. This, my friend, is a world-changing discovery. One we're proud to have had a hand in. A few Magitech terminals are a pittance to pay.
Thank you.
Well, we've done what we can. The rest is up to you.
So we finally have it, the cure for tempering. All that remains is to put it to use. I shall be praying for your success on the front lines. In the end, we didn't have to pay for the terminals, which is great for us, but I can't help but feel my counterpart in the ironworks. Alas, the ironworks crew couldn't linger long. Far too much to do, yet brief though our time together was, it was bloody good to see them. If you seek Riol, he has left to visit each of the allied armies. Link Pearl conversations as well are well and good, he said, but there is no substituting face-to-face meetings for strengthening cooperation. So I had a little chat with Gratia. Though he looks as young as any of us, he has the air of an older person about him. I suspect he's seen more than his fair share of trials. When we went to deliver the ice shards, we had an occasion to speak with Gratia. The sister says he acts like an old person, but if you ask me, he seems like a perfect gentleman. Hooray challenged you once before, and now he has the sights upon Gratia. I fear history is about to repeat itself. They say Gratia is a versatile combatant who excels at all roles in battle. I should very much like to test my blade and shield against him. There's nothing quite like basking in the glow of brothers' fighting spirit. We must make this bout in Gratia happen. Yes, we must. At long last, we have our cure. In theory, at any rate, we cannot be certain until such time as we put it to the proof, but I am quite confident. Well, if we're to test it on someone, then I suggest Gabu. His symptoms are relatively mild. Yes, as long as we exercise due caution, it will be fine. Without further ado, then, let's make the two forward limbs up. We've kept Gabu waiting long enough. I doubt I could contribute much towards what comes next, so I shall cheer you on from afar. Best of luck with the treatment. We'll all be praying for your success. 'Tis plain Alize is very fond of Gabu, to the extent that I have a hand in it. I shall do all in my power to bring him back. Well, this is the moment of truth. I'll have our host bring Gabu to us at once.
Apologies for the wait.
Gabu, have you been good?
Still no change, I'm afraid. He just stands there in silence until we move him.
It's all right now. We're going to help you get better.
Fancy meeting you here.
Alphino Yushtola! I thought you were attending to primal matters.
We were, and came here for a meeting on the subject. Certain pirate factions did not deign to attend, however, and it was cancelled.
We had resigned ourselves to having wasted a journey when we chanced to espy you. Could it be that there has been progress with the treatment? Using Magitech terminals to formulate the solution. I would never have contemplated such an approach.
So this new magic, adapted from memory transference, would be used to purge the subject of their fanatical faith, while Angelo would be responsible for reanimating the ether of their soul. Yet I wonder at the practicalities. If one were to reanimate the soul first, it would only serve to exacerbate the tempering. Conversely, a stagnant soul would not respond to the effects of the magic. Would both need to be performed simultaneously?
Nothing escapes Master Matoya's inquiring eye. As you say, both must be carried out simultaneously. And thus, I propose to imbue Angelo with the tempering treatment in much the same manner as I did the spirit vessels.
By doing so, we also spare Graha the trouble of casting spell after spell. It's really rather efficient.
Be that as it may, certain difficulties are unavoidable. The imbuing process will still require no small amount of ether. And, as I can no longer draw upon the Crystal Tower's stores of energy, I will be compelled to rely on those of others.
Well, I for one would be glad to assist.
As would I. Since the resumption of our duties, it has been naught but stuffy meetings, and I have ample ether to spare.
Excellent. With your permission, then, let us begin. Yes, this will do. And now, it's my turn. Tis done.
No small amount indeed.
Well, we seek to go where even the Allegans did not. It was never like to be easy. The rest is up to you, Alize. The treatment itself will take time and focus, so we will need a quiet room. I'm sure our hosts can spare one. I will go with her. It may be a while before we return, so I would ask for your patience and your faith.
We'll bring Gabu back. You see if we don't.
Twould seem our part is played. Let us find a place to recuperate while we wait for news.
Alize will succeed, I am certain of it. We need but have faith. Well, this seems as good a spot as any to have a rest.
For years, Eorzea has laboured to find a solution to the primal problem, without success. Any hope that tempering could be reversed faded long ago. I myself had given it up as impossible. Given up on the tempered and the light-corrupted alike. They were problems to be tolerated, or else eliminated, I believed. And to think otherwise was pure naivety. Childishness, even. But Alize refused to give up. She struggled and she struggled. And her efforts were rewarded with a way to bring back Halric. And now countless others may no longer be beyond salvation. However much we bicker, I have the greatest respect for my sister. Had I half her stubbornness, nay, her unwillingness to accept the status quo, I would be a far better person. A far better scion. I should, I know. Yet, despite my good intent, I have the feeling that I would only succeed in incurring her ire. Alize, are you all right?
The treatment. Did it work?
Oh, I'm so glad to see you all. Delighted, happy, glad.
Holy shit.
Gabu!
This does change a lot of things.
All this time, my mind was filled with thoughts of Great Father Titan. But I never forgot about Mother and Father. Always, they were in my heart. Constantly, ever, always. So I tried to focus on their faces, Theirs and yours. Alize's and everyone's. And I found that I could remember. One thing, then another, and another.
Your hopes reached Gabu. They helped him to hold on.
I'm so proud of you, Gabu.
I couldn't have done it without you, Alize. Can you help the others too? Cure them, heal them, help them?
Yes, we can. All of them.
Without wishing to dampen the mood, I feel compelled to add certain caveats regarding the viability of the treatment for general use. As you know, reversing the effects of tempering demands a profuse amount of ether. And while Alize was able to heal Gabu alone, I fear the same will not be true for those who exhibit more advanced symptoms. Moreover, the treatment's effects are limited to the soul. It offers no succor to those whose very flesh has been altered through prolonged exposure to a primal's influence. All of which is to say that we cannot save everyone.
Maybe we can't, or maybe we can. No one gave us a hope of saving Gabu, and yet here we are. We must find a way to treat as many as possible.
Then the next logical step would be to produce a veritable army of Porkses, would it not? Granted, it seemed a simple enough process in the first, but I suspect it will be different here in the source. Not that I am any authority, of course.
Yet there is an authority on familiars to whom we may grudgingly turn. She's stubborn, haughty, eccentric, irascible, laconic, annoying. And her name is Master Matoya, the real one.
I have to go now, Gabu, but the people here will look after you, all right? And I promise to come and visit you again soon.
All right. Thank you, Alize. Thank you.
Alize will be exhausted from her efforts. But you wouldn't think so to look at her now. If she is ready to press on, then so am I. We did it. We brought Gabu back, and if I have any say in the matter, he'll be the first of many. You may recall that in order to procure the ingredients for Angelo, we had no choice but to surrender ourselves to the whims of the pixies. But I should have done so with far better grace had I known what we would go on to achieve. As she will be at pains to remind me, I have not paid Master Matoya a visit since returning from the first, but this seems as good a time as any. Come, let us make for her cave. Looks like I'm getting some disruption with the internet. Hope the stream's not suffering. Master Mitoria is something of a legend among Archons. I very much look forward to meeting her, if not the dressing brown I am liable to receive for my inept attempts at summoning you. Do you remember when last we came here? It was to find out why the others had collapsed. If someone had told me then that they'd be whisked away to another world, I would probably have laughed in their face. You live and learn, eh? It has been some time since Master Mitoria last saw Y'shtola. What a lot they will have to talk about. I take it you're ready to bear witness to the joyous reunion of Master and Pupil. Very well.
Nary a word from you all this time, then you bring every man and his pirogo with you. Did no one teach you any manners, girl?
They were too busy teaching me etherology, Master. Jesting aside, I wanted to be the one to express our gratitude. I am told you spared no effort to sustain our bodies while we were away, and for that, we owe you our lives. Thank you.
You were gone so long. I was starting to think you'd set your heart on staying.
It wasn't easy to leave, as it happens. Seldom does one have the opportunity to study other worlds, and I would not have minded extending my stay by a handful of years.
Ever the scholar. Y'shtola dedicated herself to studying ancient civilizations of the First, befriending a tribe known as the Night Blessed in the process. There she took on the name of Mitoya and won the respect of all the children of the forest.
Oh, no.
I merely adopted an alias in accordance with the custom of my hosts. Yours just happened to be the first name that came to mind.
You mean to tell me you went gallivanting about using my name and only bother to visit when you need a favor? And don't pretend you don't. I taught you long enough.
Indeed. And devoted pupil that I am, I could not fail to recall my master's sage advice. When the answer eludes you, look to the wisdom of your elders.
You there. Were you going to introduce yourself?
How remiss of me. Grahatir is my name, and I am proud to call myself a scion. I too wish to offer my gratitude for your invaluable aid in sustaining the Archon's bodies, as well as my apologies. It was my inexpert summoning spell which endangered their lives in the first place.
Ah, yes. The one bent on digging up the mysteries of Alag. Old Galaf used to speak of you, and Kryles told me all about your recent exploits. Do you have a bad back or something? At ease, boy. Whatever mess you've made, I'm not in the habit of dwelling on the failings of the younger generation.
You are too kind. I've also heard much and more about you, Master Matoya. 'Tis an honor to finally make your acquaintance.
Well, that's more than enough pleasantries for anyone. Tell me what you want. I haven't got all day. So that's the way of it. It should be a simple enough matter to make the familiar. The magic, on the other hand.
Ah, that you may leave to me. Being the only one possessed of royal blood, I alone can imbue the subject with the necessary magic.
So I just need to create proxies with the power to stir the soul. Just, I say. Though we're talking about a veritable herd of the little buggers, we'd collapse before we reached double figures. But if I could get a familiar to create the familiars, a mother proxy, as it were. Seems I haven't seen the last of that moldy old hole after all.
A proxy that produces proxies. What an inspired idea. By the way, yo, do you think I misspoke earlier? I assure you it was not my intention to embarrass anyone. Moldy and old hole, she really must miss the place. Where does she mean, do you think? Some matter of hidden workshop, perhaps? In case you've ever wondered, Alphino got the incorrect streak from our mother, and it can be rather endearing, even useful in certain situations. But most of the time, it just makes me want to shake him, or Strolla. Being Alright, off to my old workshop then. Everything required to make your familiar is there. That may be, but no one has set foot there and since the Exodus. I dread to imagine what has become of it. Oh, there's sure to be a handful of feral familiars and mayhap a monster or two, but nothing to trouble the likes of you. You can consider cleaning up the place a payment for my help. Fine, we'll do it. Good girl. Now if there's no other objections, I suggest you run along to the Maker's Quarter. I'll send one of my Faragos ahead to let you into the workshop. You need only tell him who you are. One can't be two character after all. Off you go. What are you still doing here? Off to the Maker's Quarter with you. I'll join you when I'm ready. Go on now. Shoot. Judging by the unruly state of the floor without, I think it's safe to assume there will be no shortage of unruly fauna within. Add to that the undisturbed secrets of the workshop, and we have the makings of an adventurer. The workshop was an unforgivable place even before the Exodus, and I doubt the years of neglect have improved it. The grass could certainly do with a trim. As I may have mentioned, Alize and I were still very young when we departed with the Exodus. I envy Ishtola for remembering the city as it once was. Greetings, Ribbit. Welcome to my good mistress relict. Rogo is my name, and I am honored to be your guide. Within you will find a space dedicated to the makings of familiars, along with a cavern wherein the requisite ingredients may be had. I must warn you, however, that the place has not played host to a single soul, much less a broom. In over 15 years you will, I regret, be in some disarray. But rest assured, my brothers and I shall see to it you do not lose your way. Now then, Ribbit, only say the word and I will show you in. Are you ready, Ribbit? Give me the word and I will show you in. Though it has been a while since last I joined the fray, I have followed Alisaie's examples in practice whenever possible. My healing magics are ready as always. I am no stranger to portsea making, as you know, and that much must count for something. I was still a child when last I came here, but now I am rather more capable. Not that Master Murtoya seems to have noticed. Mayhap she will when I have cleaned up the mess she left. So, yo, shall I lead the van, or would you rather I followed up the rear? Whatever you prefer, I am happy to adapt. So come, let us go and make our mother proxy. What time is it? I'll be right back with the dungeon. Okay. And we're back.
Right. To begin with, I need you to gather a few ingredients. Listen well to what the Porogos say, or you'll wish you had.
That's cool.
Right then. Let's get this over with. Newborns are wont to be difficult. Sure, who's in charge?
Huh. got this. Fuck yeah.
There we are. Quite tame.
Then all that remains is for me to imbue her with the magic. My friends, I'm afraid I must trouble you for your ether once more. That should suffice.
Good. Let's set her to work then, shall we? I want to see some porkses. Assuming, that is, someone can spare the requisite energy. A mere drop in the ocean for the great sorceress Matoya, I dare say. Excellent. Our very own litter of Angelos. And we can make as many more as we want, simply by providing the mother Porksy with additional ether.
I will require a moment before I try again.
It's still hard work, but a damn sight more efficient than making them one by one. Thank you, Master Matoya. Everyone, we're a step closer to our goal.
Distributed amongst the allied nations, they should do much to facilitate closer dialogue with the beast tribes. And given their present travails, I believe our friends in Limsa Laminsa should be the first beneficiaries.
Agreed. Though I must leave this errand to you. I doubt my legs will carry me out of the cave, much less to Vilbrand. Thank you for taking the lead in gathering the ingredients. I expect you would benefit from a rest too.
In addition to the Porksies, I trust you've gained an inkling of how much effort goes into the creation of familiars. Or mayhap you attribute your struggles to old age.
If I said yes, would it persuade you to treat me like an adult?
Not with that pertness, it wouldn't. Anyway, assuming you have no other favors to ask, I shall be leaving.
Forgive me if this is a silly question, but of all creatures real and imagined, why choose a flying pig? Not that I dislike pigs, mind you. Given that it was her first time making a proxy, Master Matoya did a fine job. though she did have Angelo for inspiration. Lest you wonder, Master Matoya has returned to her cave with Yastola. They're as peas in a pod, are they not? Well then, my friends, let us return to Limsa of Lanwamsa and deliver the good news to the Admiral. A word to the officer in Bulwark Hall should be sufficient to secure us an audience. Even as we speak, we are weaving a new future, and when it all becomes history, I hope that those who follow may look back with gladness. If we offer them the means to cure the tempered, the beast tribes are far more likely to listen. Though the Admiral is not expecting us, I am certain she will want to hear our report. Come, let us request an audience. What time is it? How long have I been streaming for? 3 hours? Yeah, that's a good time. I think I'm gonna take a break. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. As always, thank you. Appreciate your support. And peace.